Good morning, fellow Ambazonians. Today, na Friday, number 22 day for the month of July 2022. My name na Capo Daniel, the spokesman of the Ambazonian Governing Council, aka Sense Pass King, our own countryman. Una welcome to our daily podcast, a program where we bring una the truth, honesty, fact-based analysis for help we as we waka for this our road for freedom to the independence of Ambazonia. Great people of the former British Southern Cameroons, citizens of Ambazonia. The Supreme Commander of the Ambazonian Defense Forces, General Efang, aka Big Number, he then laid out a policy speech yesterday for the Ambazonian people. The military leader for the Ambazonian Defense Forces them for ground, his speech it be as follows.
Time day for fight, time day for plan, and time day for build. We don't fight for 5 years using a particular strategy. And we don't observe how the enemy don't move to different areas, PR forces.
The general, he talk about the change of strategy them. And this one, it be in line with the speech and the tweet message where the leader of our War of Liberation, Dr. Cho Ayaba, he talk, say the Ambazonian Defense Forces make them suspend their code of conduct for review in light with the Cameroon continually use of extrajudicial execution, barbaric execution following the execution of a female Ambazonian soldier where we be captured alive, Mama G. Mama G along with one of the leaders of the 7 Katas, General A4, they be captured alive, parade them for Cameroon national television, despite the fact so they be done show the proof of life. The Cameroon military cowardly execute both of them in Agiatie, in the great state of Mezam, in Bafut district. This it will require some new level of brutality as well from the Ambazonian forces. Naiwe they talk about change of strategy in this area. We know if we continue to fight like church people, while the enemy it is show barbarism for our people on a day-to-day basis.
We need to adapt a new strategy. We get to adapt a strategy we build to that of our enemy. We need to be stronger basis where we be defended. We need to be basis the way if we defend our people. We get to be basis the way if we protect our people. And we also get to be basis the way if we defend other blocks. If we don't do
the issue for bill bases them may be capable for whole territory, it be an issue where the Ambazonian Defense Forces that are implement them, continually hold both our headquarters and liberated area for over 3 years and counting, safe from Cameroon brutality in all Ambazonian liberated areas, the incidents of Cameroon burning of houses, the incidents of Cameroon carrying out mass arrests and mass execution of our people are far more less than areas that are not yet classified as liberated areas. We need to intensify because those other peripheral areas we get not just pure guerrilla formation with the forces where they be less engaged in territorialism, would get more Cameroon atrocity and more Cameroon terrorism. There will be a push for the Ambazonian Defense Forces for begin to push the other forces them also for adopt same formation.
we continue to use the old strategy, the regime will move to other places and kill our people. Are they around the bill? The lead, they also strengthen our defenses. And we are going to be proud for what we will see in future.
So the Supreme Commander, he talk about the building of community, the building of blocks of Ambazonian state, Ambazonian liberation area, with a reflection and projection of what Ambazonian Governing Council have for store for our people in an independent country. We could need for begin to expand those policies and for engage with other forces them for adopt the same posture. War, it be more than just fighting, it also be more for building. Most African countries, they don't fail because they don't learn for fight against which way they hate them, but they don't fail for build which way they want them.
Past days, and all Sierra Republic don't move to a block in Bafut, capture our fighters, A4, Mama G, and others. They be taken alive and will be executed, and their body they be dumped on the street. This is not a violation of the international law and their own constitution.
The general, he talked about the Cameroon government use of display of dead body, posing with dead body, with their military men posing with dead body of Ambazonian captured fighters. Captured fighters being executed and their body being displayed in public is deemed an international crime, a war crime during armed conflict. This is actually against the Cameroon own government constitution, and it constitutes a grave violation of international laws of war.
To where the French government forces for Cameroon, if you do for the Bassa and the Bamileke people. The displacement for Ambazonian fighters, their body for street, but instead motivate the youth of Ambazonia for pick up arms and for defend their dignity.
The general did not say the same strategy for display dead bodies of fighters was used by the French Cameroon military, then under France, to the Bassa and the Bamileke during their civil war and their war for independence, where Bassa and Bamileke people, they were beheaded, they were killed, and their dead bodies displayed in public. This one has never been seen in Ambazonia, even during the Germans or during the British and Nigeria control or dominance over Ambazonia. General Efang Itok say, we no go react like the Bassa people them be react, but our youths them need for join the forces, join the armed resistance for protect their dignity as he talk am.
We don't also see the killing for Field Marshal of Libya, a body will be taken to Kumba and be displayed. This is not the kind of enemy we will deal with. Fellow Ambazonians.
So the Field Marshal, he also a dead body will be displayed for road. Our people they need for know say this one na an insult for a people. Now a direct attack for the pride of a people, for the dignity of a people, the sanctity of life of Ambazonians. This is an affront to justice, it's an affront to who we are as a people, and our people must understand the magnitude of Cameroon terrorism and Cameroon display of the dead body of our soldiers on our street. It then become now a norm and a practice of the Cameroon terrorist military, and our people need for shun it and the need for turn their face towards it. Dead body have always been a sacred for our people, and we should not allow our culture to be completely decimated by this virus from La Republic to Cameroon.
So, we must be stronger basis. The forces on the ground must work together, plan together, coordinate together, and execute together.
The emphasis is to be about building of stronger bases. An area, a liberated area controlled by the military, should never be a hideout, as we have noticed in many places. It shouldn't be a hideout, it should be stronger bases. Bases that can be defended, bases that can project itself. And the general, he also talk about collaboration. All the various forces, and the terms is still collaboration. That means it acknowledges the variety and the diversity of Ambazonian forces, and that is respect to all different sister forces but all of them have to collaborate in terms of sharing information, collaborate in coordination, and in carrying out attack against the common enemy, La République du Cameroon.
The people of Bafut say, Bafut will remain strong. They will work with our forces for Mezam. They will give them support, saying the remaining forces will day for day, and also defend that block.
So the general he talks say our forces them for inside Mezam will continue for work with the forces them for Bafut, also for provide training and for provide material support for those forces them for inside Bafut. It be very important the issue concerning training, because political education it be very crucial, and it don't always be a distinction with the ADF fighters. The understanding of a political and military ideology in a liberation struggle is as good as the preparation of carrying out military arms.
They be them defined. My commander there will make sure say they join force so that they protect that block. Fellow Ambazonians.
The general he also talked about the state of Lebialem following the death of Field Marshal and the use of his death as a political tool by La République. He said Lebialem may be strong, and this is testimony because after La République he be killed General Oliver, they no be fit display body for inside Lebialem, then carry and go down for Meme State for display their body for inside Kumba. That is testimony of the strength of Ambazonia in Lebialem. And the propaganda video released by the Cameroon occupation military for show people they declare bush, say they clean na Cameroon government school for Fontaine. It be been a propaganda as Sudan Lenam na a video where the ex-students for that school they become for can clean the school 1 month ago just for keep the environment clean. All Cameroon government schools are banned in Ambazonia and have vacated their premises in Lebialem, in Fontaine, and all other areas in Lebialem. Any Ambazonian who is found to violate the ban of Cameroon government school will immediately face the consequences. Actions in this regard will follow this month, especially in Lebialem.
Where they dey for different blocks and where they defend their block. We go make sure say we work together so that we will be stronger.
This is very key, the determination to work together with other forces. The expression by the commander, the supreme commander of the ADF is very important. We will make sure we continue to work with all other forces.
All Ambazonians above the age of 18 for join the Ambazonian Defense Forces or any other force will be in the area where they did it.
They call for national duty, say make all Ambazonian age 18 and above then join Ambazonian Defense Forces and other Ambazonian forces in their vicinity. This national call, it could be accompanied by a training program, recruiting program for our various areas will be able and capable for defending themselves. This will allow the more specialized Ambazonian forces to be able to carry the fight to strategic areas against the enemy.
Cameroon for our country. I also call on them for joint force. Not only when we join force, pick up arms like we do for 5 years. We will defeat Cameroon and send them out our country.
So the general asks for bike people then for Bamenda for join forces with the Ambazonian Defense Forces inside Bamenda. Together they could defeat La République. Now only through arms will we respond for La République, the atrocity and the oppression in our country.
We don't become stronger, but some of them become weaker. The generation for Jongu Foncha, Endeli, and Jua, we don't fear the Ambazonian people. And we una know say, una hope that the Ambazonian Defense Forces.
The general, he talked about the failure of the generation of leaders In Ambazonia, the generation of the Jongo Fonchas, the Endele, and the Jua, other generations have failed us. And in our culture, we keep on looking on the elders for direction and leadership. That generation have failed. There will be no leadership that will make any meaningful changes in our life or to liberate us. And the Ambazonia Defense Forces will provide the leadership. We, the Never Again generation, is the leadership for our people to tend to as we fight to have our freedom and liberate our country.
Remember, say we get at war with the Republic. A war will declare on us in our land of birth. August will soon come. And the Ambazonian Governing Council, if we don't give we a power for operate our transitional councils on ground. The transitional authority framework is already start for inside 5 states there, part of the 13 states there for inside Ambazonia. For example, for Bui, we don the deep roads, the link other villages there. We don also create our own internal economy.
So the general, it talk about the transitional authority and the mandate from the governing council, where it then talk me them put in place and implement the framework for the transitional authority. The general then announced the progress as coming August they come. August will be at the deadline for Ambazonian for get a complete picture of what is happening on the ground in terms of transitional authority. To fill this gap, as Cameroon have left many of our liberated area, is very, very crucial. The Transitional Authority have carried out some civilian projects in addition to the community schools that we have, the projects in opening road, creating Ambazonian self-reliance economy far away from those that have been laid by colonialism and those that are currently being eyed by La Republic is crucial. The Ambazonian Governing Council President, Dr. Cho Ayaba, he talked at depth in an interview in Toride on ACN.
Mm-hmm. When you bring forward ideas, they require investment to provide both the quality of education that our children deserve and the quantity of the educational institutions that meets up with the demand. So far, we have been limited in providing both. We've had community schools without having the possibility to train teachers. We've had community schools without having the possibilities to provide even benches in some of the classrooms, without having the possibility to pay foundational institutions that we can look forward in the next 10 years and say, in our struggle for independence, the sector of education was the one that became free. The first institution that really became free from La Republic's intoxication. We also look at the next one is health. We are facing a health disaster. We saw with the issue of cholera that hit areas of Fakwa and Meme. We saw with the issue of COVID that we could not provide basic services. I have announced the possibility of mobile health clinics and static health clinics, where we recruit laboratory technicians and nurses to move into villages and make sure that they carry out massive tests against issues like malaria, typhoid, and establish a health data for our civilian population so that we can monitor their health. There is a direct relationship between good health and economic development. A sick population cannot contribute in the development of the community. These are simple things that we can do with the massive amount of nurses and health practitioners that we have across the globe. If they will make massive investment in this area, Ambazonians will begin to take control. They will not depend again on the occupier. If we focus only on the military, and then our population will depend on the occupier for basic services like education, health provision, community development, and even policing.
Independence means independence. We will have to depend on ourselves for policing. We have to depend on ourselves on social service. We have to build and give a foretaste of our people to what independence will look like in our country. This and much more will follow our subsequent and special edition. God bless you all. Capo Daniel, signing off.